How's it going, everyone? Shifty here, and today I'm back with another Lost Sector guide. This one is going to be an easy guide for the Master Concealed Void Lost Sector. In my easy guides, I try to use loadouts that are easily obtainable, and I don't use Charged with Light or Warmind Cell mods. However, as I already mentioned, this is a video for a Master Lost Sector, so there's going to be some difficulty no matter what you use. Also, the chances are pretty good that you're below the recommended 1340 power. Either way, I'm going to try to offer suggestions that make this as easy as possible. Before I get into the loadouts for each class, if you end up enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. I went with a Well of Radiance Warlock, then for my weapons I have the Survivor's Epitaph for Overload Champions. Really, any kinetic hand cannon will work here. Then I'm using the Pleiades Corrector Solar Scout Rifle for Barrier Champions and because solar damage is boosted by 50%. And for my heavy weapon on my Warlock Run, I went with Sleeper Simulant. This actually is surprisingly good in this Lost Sector. And for my Warlock armor mods, I'll quickly show you each piece of armor, and if you need to see anything in more detail, just pause the video. In my Titan run, I went with the Bottom Tree Sunbreaker. Then, like on my Warlock, I have the Survivor's Epitaph. Again, like I said before, you can use any kinetic hand cannon here. However, I would recommend with a fast reload or a perk like Rapid Hit. I also have the Pleiades Corrector again. A couple of good alternatives here would be the Vision of Confluence from the Vault of Glass or the Trustee from the Deepstone Crypt. And for the heavy weapon on my Titan run, I went with Xenophage. And here are my Titan's armor mods. And last up is my Hunter loadout. For this run, I went with Bottom Tree Gunslinger, and I would highly recommend Celestial Nighthawk. I didn't recommend any specific exotics on my Warlock or Titan, but I would recommend this here. If you checked out my Warlock or Titan loadouts, you'll be familiar with Survivor's Epitaph and Pleiades Corrector. But on my Hunter run, I'm using the Corsair's Wrath Solar Linear Fusion Rifle. And if you're curious, here are the mods I used on my Hunter. Alright, in this video there will be timestamps if you want to skip to a particular run. Without further ado, let's get into it. I think the beginning of this Master Lost Sector might be one of the hardest parts of it. I'm going to take out those front dregs, and then I'm going to take out some of these enemies in the back. I'm going to reload so I'm ready for the Overload Champion. And then I'm going to Sleeper it twice. If that's not enough, I'll swap back to my Overload weapon. And that Overload Captain is down. Sometimes the Barrier Champion will shield that Overload Captain, and that will make this extremely difficult, so I recommend just kind of starting over if that happens. Alright, I'm going to rift here since I'm on a Warlock, and then I'm going to try to lure this... I was going to try to lure that Barrier Champion out, but it doesn't seem to want to come out, so I'm going to take care of these Shanks first. Alright, let's see if I can go for that Barrier Champion now. I still cannot. I wanted to Sleeper and then be ready for its barrier. And now it's going to hide. Good thing I got an angle on it there. And now I can go for the rest of the enemies here. Now that we're done in that first little room, I can move on. There will be another Barrier Champion here. I'm going to try to Sleeper it. And then I'll be ready to go for the Barrier. And then I'll Sleeper it again. Right up here, I'm going to go for these Shanks right away. I'm going to toss a grenade down here on these dregs. I wanted to make sure all the dregs were taken care of down there. Alright, I'm going to try to stun that captain and use Sundering Blast to take out the dregs. Worked out perfectly. But now I'm going to wait for the captain to come back up to stun it again. Or it can stay down there, that's fine. And then I'm going to sleeper it twice. And be ready to use my overload weapon again. It will heal a little bit there. But we still managed to take it out. Time to go for these dregs. And then this heavy shank. Also, you're going to want to take care of the sniping vandal in the distance before you jump across. And then I'm going to fully heal and go for the overload champion right in front of me. I'm going to stun it, sleeper, get ready to stun it again. And then sleeper again. For some reason, that overload champion unstuns no matter what at that distance. I know some people think it's Sundering Blast, but it happens no matter what you're doing. It happened last season and it's still happening this season. So I'm going to back away. Those get too close. And then I'm going to try to go for this barrier champion. Let's see if I can get it. I'm going to sleeper it once. Be ready for the barrier. And then I'm going to sleeper it again. If I get a crit just like that, it should go down. Now I'm going to lure out the second wave of exploding shanks. And now I'm free to go for the overload captain. Stun, sleeper twice. Now I can finish this one since I'm close enough. And I'm almost full on heavy, which is great. My Well of Radiance should make this boss fight go fairly smoothly. It will allow me to hit even if the boss is shielded by the servitors. So I'm going to place my grenade there. I'm going to wait for the boss to push out a little bit, and then I'm going to super. And I'm going to start using sleeper on the boss. If I could hit it. See, it's shielded by the servitor, but I can still hit it. I have 10 seconds left on my Well of Radiance. But I was able to get the boss down. I'm going to try to clear out some of these enemies so I can push towards the chest here. I'm going to use my grenade to shield, and then I'm going to push for the chest. I may die, but that's fine. I still managed to get a platinum rating, and I got an exotic. Now I'm going to show you a full run on a Titan and a Hunter using slightly different heavy weapons. Alright, here we are back in the Master Concealed Void Lost Sector. This time I'm on a Titan. Alright, I'm going to throw my grenade over there and get ready for the Overload Captain. Hopefully it makes its way over here soon. There it is. And I wasn't ready. There we go. Now I'm going to xenophage it. Now the real trick here is how is this barrier servitor going to go? I'm going to barrier there. Hop over here. I was able to get the barrier servitor down. That's good. Now I have to take care of some of these adds in the area. Where'd that drag go? There it is. And now I'm going to go for the vandals in the distance. Alright, now that the vandals are down, we can go for this heavy shank right here. I'm going to try to be careful here. I don't want to use Xenophage because I want to save that for later. Doesn't look like anything dropped me heavy ammo in here. Reload Xenophage real quick. And then from a distance, I'm going to shoot this barrier servitor. Sundering Blast did a good job there. And now we'll finish off some of these shanks in the air. Checking for any dregs left down here. And then I'm going to shoot that one in the distance, otherwise it's going to spam grenades at me. Alright, now I'm going to go for this Overload Captain. Sundering Blast was able to take out all the dregs in the area. Gonna back off, reload, and then hop back up. Did start to regen health. Unfortunately, I was out of heavy, so I had to rely on Survivor's Epitaph, but Rapid Hit makes it a great weapon for Overload Captains. I do love my Pleiades Corrector with 4th times charm. Now I'm going to head up here and take care of this Overload Captain. So what I'm going to do, pop out, stun it, swap to Xenophage for a second, then swap back to this weapon, and then back to Xenophage. If you missed out on it, the Gunsmith was selling the Pleiades Corrector with 4th times the charm and multi-kill clip a few weeks ago. If you don't want to miss out on weapons like that, make sure to check out my channel because I put out a vendor video every single week. Looks like I took care of most of those Exploder Shanks. Now we're going to try to get this Barrier Champion. Doesn't want to acknowledge my existence. I'm going to put my barrier up here and push across gap to get the second wave of Exploder Shanks. Maybe I'll also get the attention of that barrier servitor. I was able to. Let's see if I can get a barrier now. And now I'm ready to take on the Overload Captain. Finish it to save a little bit of ammo here. I didn't save much. So I'm going to start off the boss fight by throwing my grenade and then using Xenophage and see where that gets me. Now that it's shielded, I'm going to back away, and I'm going to go for my super. Toss that over there as well. And then Xenophage some more. And then I'm going to throw a grenade here to try to take out some of these wretches. Maybe I'll get lucky and get a heavy ammo drop. Otherwise, I'm going to have to use Pleiades Corrector for the rest of the kill. Not a problem. As long as the servitors don't shield it, I should be fine. I'm just going to strafe left and right as I go at it. And now that the boss is down, I can head for the chest. If I die, that's fine. But there we are. That is the platinum completion of the Master Concealed Void on a Titan. Now you can kind of see how to do it, and you kind of see circumstances where I run out of ammo and what you can do if that happens to you. Now I'm going to show you a full run on a hunter. Alright, as promised, here we are on a hunter. I'm going to throw a grenade over there, see if I can get any of those enemies. And then I'm going to wait for the overload captain. There we go. Not quite as fast as Sleeper, but it still did the job, which is nice. Surprised I was able to get that to barrier. Perfect. That actually went really well. And now I'm going to go for these vandals. If that shank gets in my way, I'll go for that too. Looks like it is. Now we can go for this heavy shank. Do I have enough ammo to do this? Yeah, we'll go for it. Make that go a little bit faster. And the barrier servitor is coming out. That used its barrier a lot faster than anticipated. I'm gonna wait for it to barrier again. Maybe I'll get some of those shanks along the way. No, because Sundering Blast did not go off for whatever reason. Any more shanks? I don't see any, so I'm going to throw a grenade down here. Missing one drag. I don't want it to spam grenades at me, so I do want to get it. And now I'm going to go for this overload captain. I'm going to reload my weapon and actually go for a stun again. I could have swapped off of it really quickly to finish it off, but I figured I might as well just go for it. Now I'm actually kind of in desperate need of heavy ammo though. And there's some. It fell in the Vex milk though. Alright, now I'm going to hop across here. And what I'm going to do for this champion is I'm going to keep stunning it repeatedly. So I'm going to heal first. I'm going to go for one stun. Throw a grenade. Reload. Go for a second stun. Decided to throw a few linear fusion rifle shots in there. And I got lucky and got some heavy ammo. Well, that's not ideal. I don't have a grenade for these guys this time. I'm going to actually backtrack because I hear the exploder shank. And now I have plenty of heavy ammo, which is great. Alright, let's try to go for this barrier servitor now. If it continues to hide, I guess I can't. Okay. Figured I'd just get the exploder shanks to spawn instead since nothing was coming out. Now, maybe I can do this. That worked out nicely. I'm going to wait for it to barrier again. I guess I'll body shot it since it doesn't want to look my direction. And now I'm ready to go for the overload champion. And I can finish this one. And now I'm ready for the boss fight. For this one, I'm going to super right away. I'm going to pop my super and then wait for it to push forward. Or maybe not. See how many linear fusion rifle shots I can get in before it gets shielded. And now it's shielded. So I'm going to just wait it out for a little bit, see if I can take out any of these enemies that aren't shielded over there. As long as the boss teleports around a little bit, it will become unshielded eventually. And the boss is down, so I'm free to go for the chest. Now it's just a matter of actually getting to the chest. While it might behoove you to take out some of these enemies before you try to push for that chest, since I kept dying, that's what I'm going to have to do. So I'm going to push up to the left here, push around, and then grab the chest. And if I die, that's alright because I still got a platinum completion. Anyway, that is it for my easy guide for the Concealed Void Master Lost Sector. I hope that this helped you out, and if it did, remember to like and subscribe. I just want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.